visit the graves. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرَ, until you all visit the graves. Now the visiting of the graves have two understanding here. One is that we, many people, we go to the grave, we visit the grave, right? But do we stay there or do we come back? We come back, right? The people who are alive, they come back. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرَ. The word zur, zara, comes from the root word zara, which means to visit. The Arabs used to use it in ancient time, also means a temporary visit. Also it means to hug somebody. So when you're hugging somebody or meet somebody, it's just for a short while. You meet a friend, come visit you, it's only for a while. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word zurtumul maqabir. He didn't say judgment, Jannah or Jahannam. Until you visit the graves, refer to the people who die, where they go? Into the graves. Right? But the graves are not permanent. أَفَلَا يَعْلَمُ إِذَا بُعْثِرَ مَا فِي الْقُبُورِ. Allah says, don't you know that this grave will be upturned on the day of judgment? In other words, we'll be come out for judgment. And so, the zurtum referred to the short stay in the grave until the judgment. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said a few things about the short stay in the grave. And when I say short, it's really short. From now to Qiyamah. So we want to make that short stay good or bad. And so if the individual is good, he will have a peaceful stay in the grave. And if the individual is bad, well, you know what will happen to him or her in that grave. And from now to the day of judgment, you think about it. So we are going to another country. It's like going to the airport. We're going to take, from the airport, we'll take the plane. And so the grave is like the airport. You're going to stay there for a while, then you're going to move on. So you're staying there, you want to make it good. You really want to make it good. So, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ, for brevity of time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. You will certainly come to know. What is it? ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. What is it you will come to know? When you go into the grave, you see the scholars, they say two things here. كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ refers to when you die and they put you in. And for that period of time, the question starts, the punishment, whatever. Then ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ talks of when you're coming out back of the grave. That's on the day of judgment. So Sawfa means soon. Very soon, actually. It's a really short stay. So it means, some soon or very soon. So it's a short stay. So we have to be careful. Now, the scholar said about the graves. The word thumma being used here for emphasis in the second ayah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeated his emphasis here to bring to our attention how serious this thing is. It's like, somebody is doing something wrong. You said, stop. But if the person continues, you say, stop, something 2 or 3 times. So Allah is repeating this thumma, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ, to bring to our attention that it is something very serious. And the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the Quran has more effect when you listen to it as opposed to when you read it. So Prophet ﷺ, when he was talking to Quraysh, he understood it. So when he was relating the Quran, reading it to them, it affected them more than they themselves reading it. But the first affection is much more. When you understand and you start to read it, then it affects you too. But listening to the Quran has effect. So we should listen to the Quran as much as possible. كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. So Allah says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here now, if you only know you with certain knowledge, كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves this verse open. كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. He's like saying, only if you know with certain knowledge. What is he talking about here? He's talking about certainty, yaqeen. You know what's yaqeen? Now yaqeen means certainty. Yaqeen means absolutely no doubt. There is no doubt. Like, let me give an example of certainty. Certainty means like, yesterday was gone. It was certain. Tomorrow never comes. Today is the day. So the certain was gone. Certainty has 2 uses in the Quran, and we'll see. One for certainty, it means iman. It's firm. It's no change. And also certainty means what? Death. وَعَبُدَ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ الْيَقِينِ. Prophet ﷺ was asked to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until yaqeen comes, until death comes. Now here's the thing. Yaqeen, there's 3 types of yaqeen, and I want us to understand this very carefully. Yaqeen, one is, a person may say he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but yaqeens explain the belief. One is, Allah says, ilm al-yaqeen. He used three types of yaqeen. Ilm al-yaqeen, knowledge of certainty. Example, you see some smoke. So when you saw the smoke, you would assume there must be fire. Right? So that's ilm al-yaqeen. You use your knowledge to come to that understanding. Haqq al-yaqeen, certain feeling, you saw smoke, but what makes the smoke beauty? And then you thought it was fire, but when you saw the fire, that is haqq al-yaqeen. That's the truth. That's true that the fire was there. And the last one is ayn al-yaqeen. So ayn al-yaqeen is seeing it with the eyes. So ayn al-yaqeen is seeing the fire, and haqq al-yaqeen is you saw the smoke, you saw the fire, but it can be artificial. So you went close up, and guess what? You touch it, and it really burns. Then you say, you know what? That's true. So the fire, the smoke, the fire, and the truth about it, it is real. So in this world, Allah gives us two yaqeen. Ilm al-yaqeen, knowledge to understand, and haqq al-yaqeen, wisdom to reflect the truth. But what He did not give us in this surah, ayn al-yaqeen. When we will have ayn al-yaqeen, seeing it with the eyes? When we die. But in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the two yaqeens, the knowledge to reflect and the truth after the reflection. So are you still want to see it? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that's why He's لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ. They will see it. What? Their own eyes. On the day of judgment, for those who deny, you know there are many people who will say, oh, we don't believe in Allah, we want to see Him. And Allah says that sighting is going to left for the day of judgment. You can't see Him. Because He gives us two things, knowledge and the ability to reflect, to come to this understanding. لَتَرَوُنَّ كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. Now, because of my time, I have to conclude the ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the last ayah in this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ. He is talking about this Jahim is hellfire, but He gives a beautiful example. He says Juhum comes from the word Juhum. It's like the stare of the lion when it is about to pounce on its prey. That's on the day of judgment. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take us to task, when you see Jahannam now, ayn al-yaqeen, now you're seeing the fire. Then you say, you know what, this thing was real. Then what you will do? You will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, please send me back. Oh Allah, please, I didn't realize this thing was serious. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then is going to say, it's too late. ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا وَنَذَرُ الظَّالِمِينَ فِيهَا جِثِيًّا. Then we shall save those who fear Allah, that is those who believe and translate that belief into action, and leave the wrongdoers, those who are waiting to see it with their eyes, we will leave them kneeling on their knees, the begging, going down on their knees begging, but that will be too late. ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. And then Allah says, on that day you will be questioned concerning Na'im. Now what is this Na'im? The Na'im basically is the distraction, the wealth and the dunya and the children. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He will question us concerning that. And Prophet ﷺ says, لَيْسَ يُحَاسِبُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِلَّا هَلَكَ. The one who will be questioned, the one who will be taken to task, definitely will be the one who is destroyed. So we don't want to be in that category. We want to be exempted. So what will take us away from the exemption is to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is to turn those na'im, those ni'mah, those bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us. And what are the bounties? The bounties are the wealth, our children, all that we possess. It's lent. It's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It will be taken back one day. So let us use it in the correct way. Let us use it to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let me give you an incident that happened to bring it out, to wrap it up. There was a time when Prophet ﷺ was very hungry, no food, no water, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. He was going so hungry, whether for hours, for days, we don't know. But you know what he did? He tied 2 stones on his stomach just to help him to feel that, you know what, he had something. So while he was going out, he saw Umar and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhuma, And Prophet ﷺ asked them what's the problem, and they complained they are hungry too. So they all go through the same problem. So bottom line, he showed them two stones in the stomach, they showed him one each. So there was a Sahaba who had something. So when he saw that, he was really taken aback. So he went to, he rushed home and he told his wife was the incident. And you know what? The little he had, he invited them. And bottom line, he fed them. And when Prophet ﷺ finished, the first thing came out of his mouth, after thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what he said, we will be asked concerning this food we eat. Imagine a man, Prophet ﷺ was starving for days. And the first set a meal, which was very simple, whether it was dates or water or whatever. When they finished eating, he said, Allah will question us concerning this. Now, I want to conclude with this. The problem here is, we have so much to eat. Every time we go into our fridge, we have choices. And we eat and eat and eat until we're suffering from what? Overweight, diabetes, and so on and so forth. But what I want to get to, this is something bad for us. We need to control that. In the month of Ramadan, or when we have function at the masjid, we see a lot of food come. People don't know where they come from, especially those brothers and sisters who would, in the month of Ramadan would donate. They struggle